Hello students. So in the last class we completed the adiabatic process, how to calculate the change in internal energy, enthalpy and work done. Okay. Now the continuation of the adiabatic process, there are some important conclusions from the adiabatic process. What are the important conclusions from adiabatic process? Number 1, in adiabatic expansion, work done in a reversible process is always greater than the work done in irreversible process. Work done in a reversible process of adiabatic, that is ARP, that is the adiabatic reversible process, and AIP, that is the adiabatic irreversible process. So the magnitude of work done in adiabatic reversible process is greater than adiabatic irreversible process. The condition is the expansion. Which process? Expansion. Okay. Now the adiabatic expansion work done in a reversible process will be the maximum value, and in irreversible process this will be the minimum value. But in case of a compression of adiabatic process, that is reversible and irreversible, the work done in adiabatic irreversible process will be maximum, and work done in adiabatic reversible process will be the minimum in case of compression. In case of what? Compression. Once again I am repeating, in adiabatic expansion, work done in a reversible process will be greater than the irreversible process, whereas in adiabatic compression, work done in a reversible process will be less than the work done in the irreversible process. For a adiabatic irreversible expansion, as the number of steps increases, the work done is also increases, because as the number of steps increases, a irreversible process become a reversible process. So single step work done will be less, 2 steps work done will be more, and 3 steps work done will be more, and so on. Okay, as the number of steps increases in a irreversible expansion of adiabatic process, the work done value increases. But whereas for adiabatic irreversible compression, as the number of steps increases, the work done value what happens? Decreases. As the number of steps increases, what happens? Work done value decreases. That means single step of adiabatic irreversible compression will be have the maximum amount of the work done by magnitude, whereas in the 2 steps or 3 steps the value decreases. Okay. And one more important note here, in adiabatic reversible or irreversible process, work has to be done by the expense of internal energy. We know in adiabatic process no heat exchanges between system and surrounding. Whatever the work has to done, it is only because of internal energy of the system. Okay, that's why when the system expands, that means the internal energy, by the utilization of internal energy system expands, that means the internal energy decreases. We know for a ideal gas the internal energy is a function of temperature. Because of decreasing of internal energy, the final temperature of a system decreases. That means cooling effect takes place in adiabatic expansion. And in the case of compression, the internal energy of a system increases, thereby final temperature increases. This is called heating effect. Adiabatic compression, heating effect occurs. Adiabatic expansion, cooling effect occurs. Okay. Now work done by the system, nothing but the expansion, that means volume increases in the sense pressure decreases. Okay, so temperature decreases. That means in the adiabatic expansion we can say cooling effect. We can say which effect? Cooling effect. Okay. Now next one, work done on the system, that is the compression. In the compression what happens? Volume decreases, that means pressure has to increase, that means temperature should increase, that means heating effect occurs. Which effect occurs? Heating effect. Are you getting my point? Now the next point, if a adiabatic reversible and irreversible process are started from the same initial point, they will not end up at the same final point. That means between 2 points only a single adiabatic process is occur. That means here actually we have to write here either reversible or irreversible. Any one process can be drawn between the 2 points. Suppose if between the 2 points, if the only adiabatic reversible process is drawn, that means irreversible process is not possible, otherwise vice versa. What is the meaning of this one? That means suppose if 2 points are joined by the adiabatic reversible process, then that 2 points not joined by the adiabatic irreversible process. Are you getting my point? Here the reason is pressure, volume, temperature all are variable in adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, pressure, volume, temperature are variable. Okay. And one more important conclusion, already in the last class I explained the final temperature of adiabatic irreversible process is always greater than the adiabatic reversible process whether expansion takes place or compression takes place. That means overall we can conclude the final temperature is always greater than in adiabatic irreversible process as compared to the final temperature in adiabatic reversible process. This is a very important. Whether expansion occurs or compression occurs, no matter expansion takes place or compression takes place, but the overall the final temperature in adiabatic irreversible process is always greater than the final temperature in the adiabatic reversible process. Okay, this is a very important conclusion. Okay, and one more important thing, in case of expansion, the change in temperature of adiabatic reversible process is greater than the change in temperature in the adiabatic irreversible process. But whereas in case of a compression, change in the temperature of adiabatic reversible process will be less than the change in the temperature of adiabatic irreversible process. Once again I am repeating, if the temperature difference, if you see, in case of a expansion, the initial temperature, final temperature between the adiabatic reversible process will be more than that of a adiabatic irreversible process. Whereas in case of a compression, if you see, the temperature difference between initial and final of the adiabatic reversible process will be less than the initial and final temperature difference of in adiabatic irreversible process. To better understand this concept, so in the last class I explained the question number 64 and 65. Question number 64 expansion and question number 65 compression. In the question number 64 we completed both reversible as well as irreversible. If you have any doubt, see the question number 64 and 65. In the question number 64 we are taking the adiabatic expansion, okay, reversible and irreversible process. In the reversible process, what will be the final temperature? That will be the 150 Kelvin, and in irreversible process the final temperature will be 230 Kelvin. Remember these two temperatures. Whereas in the question number 65, that is a compression. In compression, what is the final temperature here? In the reversible process 600 Kelvin and adiabatic irreversible process 1425 Kelvin. Okay, with the help of this numerical we can justify this expansion compression order. Okay, now let's suppose this is the initial temperature. What is the initial temperature in the question number 64 and 65? T1, that will be the 300 Kelvin. Okay, in the question number that will be the 64, I am taking the expansion, and question number 65 I am taking the compression. Okay, in the question number 65, if you 64 in the expansion, we know final temperature decreases. Yes, obviously decreases. That means less than 300 should be the final temperature. So that's why I am taking the two temperatures below the 300 Kelvin. One temperature will be 230 and other will be 150. 230 Kelvin adiabatic irreversible, and 150 adiabatic reversible. Remember, if you see the final temperature in adiabatic reversible and irreversible, which temperature is very high? Irreversible process. Already I explained here, the final temperature in adiabatic irreversible process is always greater than the final temperature in the reversible process, adiabatic. Okay. Now, question number 65, compression. Compression means work done on the system, that means internal energy increases, thereby temperature increases. So the temperature will increase more than 300 Kelvin. Okay. So there are 600 Kelvin and 1425 Kelvin. 600 Kelvin adiabatic reversible and 1425 adiabatic irreversible. Again, if you see these two temperature, adiabatic irreversible final temperature is always greater than the adiabatic reversible final temperature. Okay. Now, if you see the difference between the adiabatic initial temperature and adiabatic reversible and irreversible, if you compare the temperature difference, where the temperature difference is very high, so initial to the 1425 difference is very large. That means the difference between the adiabatic irreversible process will be more than the adiabatic reversible process in case of what? Compression. That means in case of compression, the temperature difference between initial and final of adiabatic irreversible process will be more than that of the reversible process. But whereas in case of expansion, the final temperature and initial temperature difference in the reversible process will be more than that of the irreversible process. Are you getting my point? Here the temperature will be 300 Kelvin, here the 150 Kelvin, that means minus 150 Kelvin. So here you don't consider the negative sign, just see the magnitude. Okay, here 300 to 150, the difference will be 150. 300 to 230, the difference will be 70. So 300 to 150, that is the large difference is there. Are you getting my point? That's why the temperature difference in the adiabatic reversible process is greater than the irreversible process in case of expansion. Whereas in case of a compression, the final temperature, initial temperature difference of adiabatic irreversible process will be more than that of the reversible process. Are you getting my point? Now, in this continuation, now we are going to discuss graphical representation of adiabatic process, that is irreversible and as well as reversible. Here we have to consider the two cases, case number expansion and case number 1 expansion, case number 2 compression. Are you getting my point? Now first of all we are discussing the case number 1. Now initial pressure, initial volume Pi, Vi and final pressure, final volume Pf and Vf. In the expansion, again we have to consider the two cases. If the final pressure is same, whether the final pressure is same or final volume is same. Again the case 1 we have two sub cases. Final pressure is same, P final will be same. Number 2, V final is same, that is volume, final volume is same. Okay. Let's suppose I am taking the final pressure is same in both the cases, that means reversible case as well as irreversible case. Let's suppose I am standing at a point A. Okay. So at a initial point A, what is the initial pressure? Pi, and what is the initial volume? Vi. Okay. Now I am moving from A to B. This is my final point where my final volume will be Vf and final pressure will be Pf. Okay. So I am moving from A to B. This is a rectangular hyperbola. This is corresponding to reversible process. That is called adiabatic reversible path. Adiabatic reversible path. Are you getting my point? Now the second path we have to see irreversible path. In irreversible path, what we have to do? We have to suddenly decrease the pressure. Are you getting my point? And after that increasing the volume. When the pressure decreases, volume has to increase. Okay. Now volume increases. But here the volume, if you see in the adiabatic reversible process, the final volume will be at a point B. But here the volume will increases to a point C. Why the final volume in a adiabatic irreversible process increases as compared to the reversible process? That means, so here the point B corresponding to final volume of the adiabatic reversible process, whereas the point C corresponding to the final volume of adiabatic irreversible process. Why the adiabatic irreversible process, the final volume will be more than that of the adiabatic reversible process? We know already the temperature relation between reversible and irreversible. We already know the final temperature in adiabatic irreversible process will be greater than the reversible process. Okay. With the help of a ideal gas equation that is called PV is equal to nRT. Now you see both the gases final pressure will be what? The final pressure, both the gases, in the sense both the process final pressure will be constant, so P constant. Are you getting my point? Number of moles constant, R is constant, that means volume directly proportional to absolute temperature. We know the final temperature in which process will be very high? Adiabatic irreversible. That means the final volume is also very high in which process? Adiabatic irreversible process. That's why the final volume of adiabatic irreversible process will be more than that of the reversible process during the expansion. Are you getting my point? Now come to, if the final volume is same. Suppose the final volume is same, that means here I am standing at a point A. Initial point A, what is the initial volume? Vi, and initial pressure is Pi. Okay. Now I am moving to point B. Okay. So here I am taking a vertical line because the volume has to be kept constant, because the final volume should be same both in reversible and as well as irreversible process. Okay. Now I am moving from A to B in this path. This is a rectangular hyperbola path. Okay. So this is the point B corresponding to adiabatic reversible process. Adiabatic reversible process, and the final pressure will be Pf will be adiabatic reversible process. Okay. Now the irreversible path, if you see, if you decrease the pressure, so pressure decreases and suddenly volume has to increase, so volume increases. That means there is a horizontal line and it is intersecting the adiabatic reversible curve. Okay. And it is reaches to a point C. At a point C, if you see, what will be the final pressure? Will be more or less? More. So what again, the final pressure in adiabatic irreversible process will be more than that of the final pressure in the reversible process. Now the reason why the final pressure in the adiabatic irreversible process will be more than that of the reversible process. Again the key concept will be the final temperature. In adiabatic irreversible process, the final temperature will be more than that of the reversible process. Again we are using the PV is equal to nRT. In the PV is equal to nRT, now final volume of both the processes will be same, that is reversible as well as irreversible. So final volume is same, number of moles will be constant, R value is itself constant. That means final pressure, final temperature directly proportional. But the final temperature will be very high in the adiabatic irreversible process. That's why the final pressure will also be very high in case of adiabatic irreversible process. Okay. Now the case 2, that is called compression. Case 2 is what? Compression. In the compression, again we have to see the two cases. Final pressure is same, number 1, and final volume is same, number 2. Okay. Let's suppose we are taking the final pressure is constant or same. So in both that means reversible as well as irreversible adiabatic compression, the P final, that is the final pressure, will be what? Same. Now the reverse direction. You see, I am standing at a point A. Okay. At a initial point A, what is the volume? Vi, initial volume, and what is the pressure? Pi. Okay. Now I have to move to point B through this path. Okay. So this is a rectangular hyperbola. This path corresponding to adiabatic reversible compression. Okay. Now this is the final volume. What is the final volume here? Adiabatic reversible volume. Okay. Now you see, suppose if I want to move in a irreversible pathway, compression, what we have to do? We have to suddenly increase the pressure from Pi to Pf. Once the pressure increases, volume has to decrease. That means, so here the volume has to decrease up to C. But the volume is not decreases up to B. Only the volume decreases up to C. That means there is a more volume in case of that is the final volume will be very high in case of adiabatic irreversible process as compared to the reversible process. Again the key concept will be the final temperature. The final temperature in the adiabatic irreversible process, even I already told you whether it is expansion or compression, no matter that will occurs. Only the thing is the adiabatic irreversible process, the final temperature is always greater than the final temperature in the adiabatic reversible process. If the final temperature in the adiabatic irreversible process will be more, and you see in both the cases the final volume is same, so final volume is same, volume is constant in both the cases. Now R is constant, N is constant. Are you getting my point? Final pressure is constant in both the cases, so pressure is constant, R constant, number of moles constant, so volume directly proportional to absolute temperature. Now in which case the final temperature is very high? In adiabatic irreversible process. That means the final volume is also very high in case of adiabatic irreversible process. That's why the gas compressed up to point C. But whereas in the reversible process the gas compressed up to the point B. That means the more compression will be occurs in case of adiabatic irreversible compression, and the gas will be less compressed in case of adiabatic irreversible process. Are you getting my point? Next two. And one more is there, final volume is same. Now the volume has to be same, that's why we are taking the vertical line that is parallel to the pressure axis or perpendicular to the volume axis. Suppose I am standing at a point A, now I have to move the point B. So this is the path of reversible. The curvature path always corresponding to the curvature path is always corresponding to reversible. Okay, now here you see, now what we have to keep the constant, final volume should be same. So here I am taking a one vertical line here, so the final volume both the processes, that is reversible and irreversible, will become same. Okay, now this is the final volume of the reversible path, that is the B. Now in irreversible path what we have to do? We have to suddenly increase the pressure. After increasing of pressure, suddenly the volume has to what? Reduce. The volume has to be reduced. Are you getting my point? So this is the volume has to be reduced, and the final volume reaches to the point C. Okay, and you see at a point C what is the final pressure will be more as compared to the point B, because at point B this is the final pressure of the adiabatic reversible process, whereas the point C corresponding to the final pressure of adiabatic irreversible process. Again, why the final pressure in the adiabatic irreversible process will be more than that of the final pressure in the adiabatic reversible process? Again, the key concept will be the temperature. The final temperature in the adiabatic irreversible process is always greater than the adiabatic reversible process. Okay, now finally what we are keeping the constant? Volume. So volume is constant in both the cases. R value is constant, number of moles constant, so pressure is directly proportional to absolute temperature. But we know the absolute temperature will be very high in the adiabatic irreversible process. That's why the pressure is also very high in case of adiabatic irreversible process. Are you getting my point? Now the graphical comparison between the isothermal and adiabatic process. We know in isothermal process the basic condition will be the throughout the process the temperature should be remains constant. Throughout the process the temperature should be what? Remains constant. Otherwise change in the temperature delta T or dt will be equal to 0. This is called isothermal process. In isothermal process pressure volume are variable, yes, whereas the temperature is constant, yes. Now pressure and volume are inversely proportional. That's why shall I write PV is equal to constant. Do you know PV is equal to constant is called Boyle's law? Yes. What is the definition of Boyle's law? At a constant temperature, the volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. So PV is equal to constant. This is expression regarding which process? Isothermal process. Regarding which process? Isothermal process. Now what I am doing here, I am differentiating on both sides. So this is a UV form, P into dV plus V into dP equal to constant to differentiation will be 0. So I am writing dP by dV is equal to minus P by V. So generally the main important graph is PV graph. If you see, pressure axis are y axis and volume axis is the x axis. Now what will be the slope of the graph? That nothing but dy by dx. Do you know slope? That will be called dy by dx. But here we will say dp by dv. Change in the y coordinate, that will be the dp. Change in the x coordinate, that will be the dv. So dp by dv is referred as a slope of the line, okay, curve. So dp by dv, that is equal to minus pv minus p by v. This is the slope in case of which process? Isothermal process. Now this slope is compared with the adiabatic process. Do you know in adiabatic process pv to the power gamma is equal to constant? Yes, pv to the power gamma is equal to constant. Now what is the gamma? Gamma stands for Poisson's ratio, which is a ratio between the heat capacity measured at constant pressure to that of a constant volume, and Cp is greater than Cv. That's why gamma is always greater than unity. Gamma is always greater than 1. Are you getting my point? Now after differentiation of pv to the power gamma constant, so this is a uv form. P kept constant, v to the power x, that we know x to the power n into x to the power of n minus 1. So the differentiation of volume will be dv plus, now keep the v to the power gamma constant, and the differentiation of pressure dp equal to what? 0. Okay, now bring the p gamma v to the power gamma minus 1 dv to the right hand side. Okay, and from both sides if you cancel the v to the power gamma, so you will get v to the power minus 1 will be left here. So that nothing but 1 by v here. So finally dp by dv is equal to minus gamma times of p by v. Minus gamma times of what? Minus gamma times of p by v. If you compare these two slopes, minus p by v nothing but the slope of isothermal process, minus p by v nothing but the slope of isothermal process, minus gamma into p by v is the slope of adiabatic process. That means we know already the gamma value is always what? Greater than 1. That means the slope of adiabatic process is steeper, that means more than the isothermal process. So the comparison of the slope of adiabatic process and isothermal process. In adiabatic process the slope will be equal to how many times? Gamma times of the slope of the isothermal process. That means in adiabatic process the slope will be more as compared to the isothermal process. In graph adiabatic curve is always steeper. Steeper means almost it is parallel or it is more close towards the y-axis. That's why it possesses more slope because the gamma value greater than 1. Okay. Now here you see case 1 for the same final volume. Now we have to compare the both adiabatic and isothermal curve. Okay. Now we are considering what? Final volume is same. Final volume is same. Let's suppose expansion. We know in expansion volume has to increase. Yes. So A to B volume increases and A to C also volume increases. That is, it is called expansion. In this expansion, what I am doing here, I am standing at a point A. Initially, what is the pressure? Pi, and what is the volume? Vi. Okay. Now I am moving A to B in this path and A to C in this path. A to B is called isothermal and A to C is called adiabatic. A to B is called which process? Isothermal. Okay. And A to C is called which process? Adiabatic. Remember, it is very important. So there are two different types of graphs here, isothermal as well as adiabatic. Just now I told you adiabatic curve is more steeper, that means it is more close towards the y-axis. The graph which is very close towards the y-axis or it is almost bending towards the y-axis, that is the steeper. So that is possess more slope. So which graph possess more slope? Isothermal or adiabatic? Adiabatic curve will possess more slope. That's why in case of a expansion, the lower curve which is corresponding to adiabatic and the upper curve, that is the rectangular hyperbola, corresponding to isothermal process. Are you getting my point? Now you see, now A to B and A to C, in both the cases we are keeping the final volume what? Constant. Okay. Again we have to see what will be the pressure. Okay. Now the final volume is what? constant, so volume is constant, that means the final temperature is in adiabatic irreversible will be very high, that means the final pressure in adiabatic irreversible process should be very high. That's why the pressure of adiabatic irreversible process will be very high as compared to the pressure of the the final pressure B. If you observe the final pressure, adiabatic irreversible process, irreversible process and reversible process, if you carefully observe, in at a point B, the final pressure corresponding to P final isothermal reversible process. This is the corresponding to isothermal reversible, and this is corresponding to the adiabatic reversible. Now the important thing is the final temperature. Do you know the final temperature in isothermal process will be remain same, but whereas in adiabatic process during the expansion temperature decreases. This is very important. So the final temperature in the isothermal reversible process is always greater than the final temperature in the adiabatic reversible process. Are you getting my point? Now when we are comparing the pressure, keeping the volume constant, the volume is constant, okay, number of moles are constant, so pressure is directly proportional to temperature. In which process temperature is very high? That is isothermal reversible process. That's why the pressure will be also very high. So the pressure will be also very high. That means the point B corresponding to the pressure, that is the isothermal reversible process, and the point C pressure, that will be the low pressure, that is corresponding to adiabatic reversible pressure. Are you getting my point? Now come to the compression. In case of a compression, that means we have to move from A to B in this direction, A to C, A to C and A to B. Now in this direction, as we move from A to B, that means volume what happens? Decreases. That means compression. Volume increases, pressure, volume decreases, pressure has to increase. Are you getting my point? Now here if you see, when we are moving from A to B and when we are moving to A to C, now the reverse direction, this is compression. Do you know in the compression the work done in adiabatic reversible process will be more than that of the isothermal reversible process. Okay, that's why the upper curve will be the adiabatic curve and the lower curve will be the isothermal curve. Remember, this is which graph? Compression. But in this previous case, this is, in case of expansion, the upper curve will be isothermal and the lower curve will be the adiabatic. Whereas in case of a compression, the upper curve will be the adiabatic and lower curve will be the isothermal process. Are you getting my point? Now here the final volume should be kept constant, so the final volume is kept constant here. Are you getting my point? Now you see here what happens, the final pressure, in which case the final pressure is very high. Do you know in adiabatic reversible process the final temperature, adiabatic reversible process and isothermal reversible process, isothermal process temperature is always constant, okay, but whereas in the compression of adiabatic compression final temperature obviously increases, okay, final temperature, because in work done on the system internal energy increases, thereby temperature increases. That means overall final temperature in adiabatic reversible process increases, but in isothermal reversible process final temperature is always constant because it is a isothermal process. That's why throughout the process the temperature remains constant. Are you getting my point? Now here if you compare the pressure, now here final volume is same in both the compressions, so volume is constant, number of moles constant, R is constant, so pressure is directly proportional to absolute temperature, in which case the final absolute temperature is very high in case of adiabatic reversible. That's why the final pressure is also very high in case of a adiabatic reversible, and the final pressure will be low in case of a isothermal reversible process. Are you getting my point? Now come to the second case, final pressure should be same. Here final volume is same in case of expansion as well as compression. Now what I am doing here, in case of in final pressure is keeping the constant, again we have to study expansion case as well as compression case. Okay, now suppose final pressure should be same, so I am standing at a point A. Expansion means volume has to increase, so volume is increasing. Are you getting my point? So there are two different paths. Okay, I am moving from A to C and A to B. Initial point same. At the initial point, what is the pressure of initial Pi and volume will be Vi, and the condition will be final pressure should be same. So both the B and C having the same pressure, you see here B and C having the same pressure, but the path B different from the path C. Are you getting my point? Now just now I told you in the expansion upper curve will be always isothermal, upper curve will be always isothermal, okay, and the lower curve will be adiabatic, okay. Now you tell me, in isothermal process throughout the process the temperature is remains constant, yes, but whereas in adiabatic expansion what happens, final temperature decreases. That means the final temperature is very high in the reversible process isothermal as compared to the adiabatic process, okay. Now the final volume in both the cases will be same, so pressure is constant in both the cases, N value, R value constant, so volume directly proportional to absolute temperature. In which case the final temperature is very high, isothermal reversible process, the final volume is also very high in isothermal reversible process. So out of B and C where the volume is very high, here at a point C, that means this is corresponding to isothermal reversible process, whereas at point B the volume will be less, that is corresponding to adiabatic reversible process. Are you getting my point? And one more is there, that is the compression. Again I told you, in case of compression the upper curve will be what? Upper curve will be what? Adiabatic, and the lower curve will be what? Isothermal. Lower curve will be what? Isothermal. Now here what we have to do? We have to keep the final pressure to be same. So we are moving at a point A. Let's suppose this is the point A. Point A to I am moving point B, otherwise point C. Okay. Now A to B is adiabatic compression and A to C is a isothermal compression. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now in both the cases, if you see at B and C the final pressure is same. Now we have to compare the final volume which has higher volume. Suppose if I don't know adiabatic or isothermal, with the final volume we can predict which is a isothermal, which is a adiabatic, okay. Now you see from A to B, if you move from A to B, is there any change in the temperature? No, because it is A to C, if you move from A to C, is there any change in the temperature? No, because it is a isothermal process. But whereas from A to B, if I move, the final temperature increases. Why? Because it is a adiabatic compression. During the adiabatic compression, internal energy increases. Internal energy is a function of temperature, so that why temperature increases. That means final temperature will increase. When the final temperature is increases in adiabatic reversible process as compared to isothermal reversible process, the final volume should also increase in adiabatic reversible process. That means the point B corresponding to more volume, that is corresponding to adiabatic reversible process, and point C corresponding to lower volume, that is corresponding to isothermal reversible process volume. Are you getting my point? Now there are some important questions here. Question number what? 66. A monoatomic gas X and a diatomic gas Y both are initially at the same temperature and pressure, are compressed adiabatically from a volume V to V by 2. Which gas will be at higher temperature? Now here this is a adiabatic. In adiabatic there are three different types of relations. What are the relations in reversible process? PV to the power gamma is equal to constant, TV to the power gamma minus 1 is equal to constant, P to the power 1 minus gamma, T to the power gamma is equal to constant. Now according to the given condition, TV to the power gamma minus 1 is equal to constant I am using, because in the question the data given regarding the volume and temperature. The data will be regarding volume and temperature. So now what I am writing here, T1 V1 to the power gamma minus 1 equal to T2 V2 to the power gamma minus 1. Yes or no? Yes. Now here T1 upon T2 will be equal to V2 by V1 to the power gamma minus 1. Are you getting my point? Now here what is the final volume? The final volume will be V by 2. Okay. And what is the initial volume? Initial volume is V1 will be V whole to the power gamma minus 1. So VV gets cancelled. You will get 1 by 2 to the power gamma minus 1. By cross multiplication, I have to find the T2 which is equal to T1 times of 2 to the power gamma minus 1. The final temperature will depend upon which Poisson's ratio, that is called gamma. If the gamma value increases, the T2 value increases. Are you getting my point? Gamma value increases, final temperature, that is called T2 increases. Are you getting my point? Now here you know monoatomic and diatomic. X is a monoatomic. X is what? Monoatomic. Monoatomic gases, what is the gamma value? Poisson ratio, that is equal to 5 by 3. 5 by 3 nothing but 1.66 or 67. Whereas Y is equal to what? Diatomic. Y is equal to what? Diatomic. For diatomic gases, the Poisson ratio will be 7 upon 5. 7 upon 5 will be 1.4. Now tell me, in which condition gamma is very high? Monoatomic. Monoatomic. That's why in case of monoatomic only, that is the gamma value increasing, the final temperature increases. So the final answer will be the gas X. In which condition the final temperature is very high? In case of gas X, that is the monoatomic. So gas X, that is the first option. Are you getting my point? Next question, that will be the question number 67. 5.6 decimeter cube of a unknown gas at a STP require 52.25 joules of heat to raise its temperature by 10 degrees Celsius at a constant volume. Then calculate Cp, Cv, atomicity. Okay. Now first of all, I am trying to find the number of moles. How to find the number of moles? Number of moles will be equal to given volume upon STP volume. Do you know 1 mole of a ideal gas at STP how much of volume occupies? 22.4 liters. Okay. What is the given volume? 5.6 decimeter cube by 22.4 decimeter cube. So this is the 0.25 moles. How many moles of ideal gas is there? 0.25 moles. Do you know Cv, Qv, that is del U, delta U, nothing but heat content at a constant volume is equal to NCV delta T. Yes. Now here you see what is the Cv value. I have to find the Cv, Cp and atomicity. Are you getting my point? Now here how much of heat absorbed at a constant volume? That will be the 52.25 joule. Number of moles will be 0.25. Now Cv value to be calculated. Temperature raised by 10 degrees. Okay. From here what will be the Cv value? 20.9 joule. After getting the Cv, do you know the relation between Cp, Cv? Yes, Cp minus Cv is equal to capital R. So Cp minus Cv capital R. So Cp is equal to Cv plus capital R, where R is called universal gas constant. In case of R value in SI units, that is the in joules, 8.314. So Cv, that will be the 20.9 plus R value 8.314 joule. So overall you will get 29.214 joule. After getting the Cp and Cv, shall I find the gamma? That is nothing but Cp upon Cv. Cp value 29.214 upon Cv value 20.9. This value will be equal to 1.39, approximately 1.4. Do you know 1.4 gamma value corresponding to diatomic? Do you know what is the gamma for diatomic gas? For diatomic gas, the gamma value, the Poisson ratio corresponding to how much? That will be 7 upon 5. 7 upon 5. 7 ones are 7. Okay. So 220, 5 fours are 5 ones are 5. Remainder 220, 5 fours are 20. So it is a diatomic gas. Otherwise we can also consider as a non-linear polyatomic. Linear polyatomic. Are you getting my point? So if the options are given, then we can easily predict. Okay. Now the question number 68. The reversible expansion of an ideal gas undergoes adiabatic. This is what? Adiabatic. This is what? Adiabatic and isothermal condition is shown in the figure. Which of the following statements are correct? So this is the previous IIT question. Okay, pressure volume curve is given. Now in this pressure volume curve, so initial point is given here, initial condition, pressure, volume, temperature, P1, V1, T1. So there are two different paths. One is isothermal path and other one is adiabatic path. In both the path, expansion takes place. So final pressure, volume, temperature in isothermal P2, V2, T2 and adiabatic P3, V3 and T3. Now the question options, first option. You see in the first option, what is the first option? T1 equal to T2. Yes. Do you know this is a isothermal process? For isothermal process, in isothermal process, final temperature, initial temperature always equal. That means not only final, initial, at each and every point the temperature remains same. So for isothermal temperature always constant. So statement A, that is the first option, is correct. Okay. Now come to second one. T3 greater than T1. What is the T3? T3 will be the final temperature in the adiabatic expansion and T1 will be the initial temperature of the process. Do you know in adiabatic expansion, in adiabatic expansion, final temperature decreases. Yes or no? What is the final temperature? T3. What is the initial temperature? T1. That means T1 is greater than T3, otherwise T3 will be less than T1. But in the option B, T3 greater than T1, that means this option, that is the second statement, will be the incorrect statement. Are you getting my point? Now option C, work done in isothermal and work done in adiabatic. Remember, work done isothermal, actually if you compare the magnitude with the magnitude, this option is correct. Okay, but the thing is, sign convention is very important. Are you getting my point? So with sign, if you compare, this is incorrect. Are you getting my point? If the question is magnitude, because work done nothing but area under the curve. If you see area under the curve, which area will be very high? Isothermal area will be very high. Are you getting my point? This is the total area in between this. So you will have total area. So the total area in case of isothermal process is very high. Okay. In case of adiabatic only, this is the area. In case of adiabatic only, this is the area. That is corresponding to modulus. Suppose work magnitude is there, the option C is correct. But the work magnitude is not given, just work done here. So that's why option C incorrect, because the sign convention imported here. Okay. Now the fourth condition, the statement D. If you see the statement D, what is the statement D? Delta U isothermal greater than delta U adiabatic. Yes, you see delta U 0, because there will be no change in the internal energy, because in isothermal reversible process, what happens? The final temperature, initial temperature will remain same. There is no change in the temperature is constant, so change in internal energy is 0. In case of which process? Isothermal process. Do you know change in internal energy will be negative in which process? Adiabatic process. Because in adiabatic process, by the expense of internal energy, by the cost of internal energy only system expand. So internal energy decreases. That's why the internal energy will be negative. So do you know 0 will be greater than negative? Yes. That means D option, that is also correct option. So overall there are two options are correct options. What are the correct options? Option first and option fourth. These are the two important correct options. This is a more than one correct answer, multiple choice. Okay. Now the question number 69. In the question number 69, standard enthalpy of evaporation of water. That means, do you know liquid water and vaporization of liquid water. So there is a equilibrium here. Now this is a endothermic process. How much of energy required? That is called enthalpy of vaporization. That will be equal to 40.66 kilojoule per mole. So this will be occurs at a constant boiling temperature of water, that is called 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now the delta H value given. The question is find the change in internal energy. So we know del H del U relation. And one more important thing, the liquid water number of moles not consider, only for gaseous, that is the ideal gas vapor, the moles consider. Are you getting my point? Now what is the delta Ng? Change in the number of moles of gaseous products. So summation of number of gaseous products moles minus summation of number of gaseous moles of reactants. So here delta Ng value I am taking only 1 because left side there is no any gaseous species. Okay. Now what is the relation between del H del U? Del H is equal to del U. Del H is equal to del U plus RT del Ng in case of chemical reaction. In case of chemical reactions. Okay. Now del H value given as a 40.66. Now I have to find del U. Okay, is plus R value 8.314 joule. I need to convert into kilojoule. That's why 10 to the power minus 3. And temperature will be 373 Kelvin. Delta Ng value 1. So after simplification, you will get the delta U, that will be change in internal energy, that will be 37.56 kilojoule per mole. 37.56 kilojoule per mole. 37.6, this is the positive value. Are you getting my point? Now question number 70. In the question number 70, 1 mole of a non-ideal gas undergoes a change of state: 2 atmosphere 3 liters 95 Kelvin to 4 atmosphere 5 liters 245 Kelvin with the change in the internal energy 30 liter ATM. Then find the change in the enthalpy. Now first of all, what is the initial pressure is given? That is the 2 ATM. And initial volume is given 3 liter. Final pressure is given 4 ATM. And final volume is given 5 liter. Okay. Do you know enthalpy H is equal to U plus PV? Enthalpy nothing but algebraic sum of internal energy and work form of energy. Now I am taking the change in enthalpy, change in internal energy plus change in the PV. Change in the PV. So delta H is equal to, shall I write delta U, change in the PV, that means the change in the pressure, that will be the final pressure, final volume minus initial pressure, initial volume. Okay. Do you know what is the del H value given? 30 liter ATM. 30 liter ATM. P2 into V2 nothing but 4 into 5 minus of P1 into V1, that will be 2 into 3. Are you getting my point? So the overall answer will be 44 liter ATM. Change in enthalpy. Change in enthalpy. Okay. Now question number 71. The temperature of a 2 moles of ideal gas raised from 27 degrees to 77 degrees. Then what will be the value of del H minus del U? Okay. Now the temperature. Now you see H is equal to, shall I write U plus PV? Yes. Now what I am writing, del H is equal to del U plus del PV. Okay. Now here del H is equal to del U plus del, instead of PV shall I write nRT, that means ideal gas equation. PV is equal to, shall I write nRT. Now del H is equal to del U. Do you know number of moles or gas constant? Bring the constant outside, and del T I am writing. So del H, bring the del U left side, minus del U is equal to number of moles R into final temperature minus initial temperature. What is the number of moles of a ideal gas is given? 2 moles. What should be the R value? In the question already is given 8.3 joule. Final temperature will be 77 and initial 27. Remember, here we are calculating the difference. So no need to convert into Kelvin. Even though if you want to convert into Kelvin, plus 273 minus 273, by subtraction, both the 273 will get cancelled. Are you getting my point? So this will be answer 830 joule. 830 joule, that will be the B option. Okay. Now question number 72. Temperature of a 1 mole of a helium gas increased by 1 degree centigrade temperature. Then increase in the internal energy. So do you know change in internal energy? Del U is equal to NCV del T regarding a ideal gas. Number of moles of ideal gas is 1 mole. CV nothing but capital R upon gamma minus 1 delta T nothing but T2 minus T1. Okay, so here R value I have to take in terms of calories. So R value in terms of calories 2. And what is the gamma? Gamma corresponding to monoatomic helium, that will be equal to 5 by 3. Okay, so here denominator 5 by 3 gamma minus 1 into change in the temperature, that is rise in temperature 1 degree Celsius. So overall if you calculate the delta U, you will get the 3 calories. 3 calories. Are you getting my point? Now question number 73, it is similar to question number 72. Are you getting my point? So same formula. What is the same formula? Delta U is equal to NCV delta T. Okay, and the answer will be 180 calories. Try yourself. Okay, now question number 74, which of the following is the correct order of the magnitude of the work done? Yes, now here W1, W2, W3, W4. If you see where the PV work done, that is the area under the curve will be maximum, that is corresponding to W1. In case of W1, this is the total area we have to cover. Are you getting my point? So this is the maximum area corresponding to W1 work done. After that, next process, this is the second process work done. Okay, and next one, this is the third process work done we have to calculate. Are you getting my point? And the fourth process, this is a isochoric process. You see, now I am naming the each and every process. The first process, if you see pressure is constant, this is called isobaric process. Okay, and the next, this is the vertical line, this is the volume is constant, that's why I am giving the name isochoric process. Now W2, W3, here W2 will be isothermal process work done, isothermal process, and W3 will be the adiabatic process. Are you getting my point? Now the question is magnitude of the work done. So magnitude of the work done, W isobaric, that will be the W1 greater than W2, that is called isothermal, which is greater than W3, that is called adiabatic, and finally W4 work done 0, that is called isochoric process. So the option will be W1 greater than, W2 greater than, W3 greater than, W4, that is the first option. Are you getting my point? Now the next one, that is the question number 75. In this question number 75, PV plot for the two ideal gases during the adiabatic processes are given in the figure. Plot A and plot B should be corresponding to respectively to. Yes, so here A to B one graph is given, and A to this is another graph is given. Both graphs are corresponding to what? Adiabatic. So we have to identify A, B or which type of gases. This is a very important question. Now we know what is the slope of adiabatic curve. Slope of adiabatic curve will be equal to minus gamma times of P by V. Are you getting my point? Now here in adiabatic process, what is the general formula? PV to the power gamma will be equal to constant. PV to the power gamma is equal to constant. Okay, the curve A, if you see the gamma value which is more steeper, curve B is more steeper. That means more slope in the sense more gamma value. Are you getting my point? More gamma value. So curve A has less gamma and curve B has more gamma value. So we have to check the one and one option. First option is given as that is the option A, that is given as a helium and hydrogen gas. Do you know helium, the gamma value 5 by 3, nothing but 1.66 curve A, and curve B, that will be the hydrogen, that will be equal to diatomic 7 by 5, that will be 1.4. So this is the curve A and this will be the curve B. I already told you curve B should be having more gamma value. Curve B should have more gamma value. So, but here curve A has more gamma. That means first option is not correct. Okay. Come to the second option. In the second option, hydrogen. What is the hydrogen diatomic? That will be 7 by 5. That means 1.4. And the helium, that will be 5 by 3. That will be 1.66. Yes, curve B has more gamma and curve A has less gamma. That means B option is correct. And remaining options also we have to see. Option number C, that will be the sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide gamma value 4 by 3, that is 1.33. And the next one, carbon dioxide non-linear polyatomic or diatomic gamma value will be 7 upon 5. That will be 1.4. So curve B, carbon dioxide has more gamma than the curve A, that is the sulfur trioxide. So option C is also correct. And come to the one more option, that is the D option. In the D option, nitrogen is a diatomic, that's why gamma value 7 by 5, that will be 1.4. Argon is a monoatomic. For monoatomic, gamma value will be equal to 5 by 3, which is 1.66. Again, the curve B has more gamma than the curve A. That means option D is also correct. That means here three options are correct, B, C and D. So this is a multiple choice correct options. Are you getting my point? Now, the next question, that is the 76th question. Again, this is similar to the 75th question. Here also log P versus log V, three graphs given, 1, 2, 3. So there are three different gases are given, helium, oxygen and ozone. Now the question is which curve corresponding to the ozone, graph 1, curve 1, curve 2 or curve 3 or cannot be predicted. That is the question. Are you getting my point? Now here, first of all, what is the adiabatic expression? Adiabatic process expression PV to the power gamma equal to what? Constant. Okay. If you apply the logarithm, log P plus gamma times of log V will be equal to 0 because the differentiation of constant 0. So finally I am writing log P will be equal to minus gamma times of log V. So here this is y is equal to minus mx, like so. This is the gamma corresponding to slope. Gamma corresponding to what? Slope. Are you getting my point? Now we have three gases. What are the gases here? Helium gas, oxygen gas and ozone gas. Do you know gamma for monoatomic gas? That will be the 5 by 3. That will be 1.66 value. Okay. Oxygen value 7 by 5. That will be nothing but 1.4. And ozone, that will be the triad polyatomic nonlinear 4 upon 3. That will be 1.33. You see the graph 1, the curve 1 having the less or least slope. So least slope corresponding to least gamma corresponding to ozone, least graph corresponding to ozone. That means graph 1 will be corresponding to ozone. The question is asking ozone corresponding to which graph? That will be the graph 1, that is the first curve.